Hi everyone, welcome to Leisrealtalk. All right, let's get started. How's everyone? Someone said they're looking forward to my presentation. Good evening. Hope you're well. Thank you for another thoughtful presentation. Okay, yeah, this one is I've been trying to find ways to give you an update on China's economy, and I have prepared charts and graphs and data, but they don't motivate me to do a program because they aren't that interesting. And most of you already know about the gloomy outlook of the country's economy. Today, I found the perfect story to illustrate how fragile and volatile the Chinese economy is. It involves a successful woman, a woman comedian, and a financial storm that her humor has caused. And it shows you that the Chinese economy and Chinese society are at a tipping point. Anything, even humor, can bring it down. On the other hand, it shows how stressful men and women living in China are or have been. So I want to give you a little background information. So China has three e-commerce platforms: Alibaba, which is the largest. It owns Taobao and Tmall. And then Jingdong or JD.com, which is the second. And it ranks, hold on, let me see. Yeah, I do have an image. So JD is the second, and Pinduoduo, PDD, which is the parent company of the brand that we all know, Tiemu or Timu. So now, in anticipating the world's largest online shopping day on November the 11th, which is known as the Singles Day in China because of the Double 11, JD.com hired a number of celebrities to promote upcoming cyber shopping events. And on October 14th, JD's online pharmacy announced that its spokeswoman for the event is a stand-up comedian, and her name is Yang Li. Let me show you her picture. Where's Miss Yang? I can't see her. There she is. And she is a very talented comedian. Someone called her the queen of Chinese comedy. Now, she's especially popular among women. She likes to talk about gender issues, and particularly men. And she often mocks men. So from a marketing perspective, since women are usually the decision makers in families for pharmacy purchases, it made sense for JD to have a spokeswoman popular among women for the pharmacy. However, Ms. Young's commercial endorsement became a major controversy, which may even lead to a financial crisis for banks because men are upset with her. So let me tell you a little bit about Ms. Yang. She rose to fame because of her unique insights on gender issues. She once famously remarked, let me see, I have a picture, but that's in Chinese. Yeah, that's, if you can see it, it's kind of small. Let me make this bigger. Maybe that will help you if you read Chinese. So this is what she said in English. She said, "Men are not only wonderful, but also particularly mysterious. You can never guess what that little brain of his is thinking." Okay, that you can never guess what that little brain of his is thinking. He clearly looks so ordinary and average, yet he's so confident. Okay, so her phrase, "men are so ordinary, yet so confident," has become a label for many Chinese women to make fun of men. And her term, she came up with this phrase, average yet confident man, became a popular meme by Chinese women. While Ms. Yang gained female supporters, she also faced considerable opposition from men. Her detractors feel that she waves a flag of girl power to attack men and incite gender opposition or conflicts or tension. Some men feel insulted by her being called, average yet confident. In the current economic downturns, unemployment is high, income is low, competition at work is fierce, and quality of life has suffered. The pressure on Chinese men is particularly intense. They face pressure at home and at work. So gender tension topics right now are are very popular, or they're trending now because there are a lot of issues. There are a lot of gender tensions at home and at work. Now, Miss Young wasn't the only female comedian JD.com has decided to collaborate with for this November 11th shopping events. The e-commerce giant also collaborated with, or will collaborate with two other female comedians who are also known for discussing men. Now, think about it. The frustrated Chinese men bear or have borne the brunt of the economic pressure, or that's at least how they feel, but they can't vent it at home or at work or to their government. So they needed a venue to vent it. So they decided to blame it on Ms. Yang and JD.com. As a result, in recent days, Chinese men took their frustration to JD.com over its commercial endorsement choices. So now JD.com, 60% of its customers are men. So I think Alibaba attracts more women, but JD attracts more men. The day after Ms. Yang Li's commercial endorsement was announced by JD, men started to protest by boycotting JD. They canceled their JD membership, which is called Plus. Some men posted their cancellation notice online, showing off the image. Others shared the best strategies to punish JD.com. Men just shared amongst themselves the best strategies to punish both JD.com and its women employees. Now, JD employs, I think, 550,000 employees. 550,000 people work for JD, of which 220,000 are delivery personnels. And that's a little under half, right? That's like 40 some percent, more than 45%. So and most of the delivery people are men. Yeah, they're darn. We haven't seen women. I mean, there are some women, but most of them are men doing the delivery. So of the 540,000 people working there, 220,000 are men. Now, the customer service reps are mostly women. So the angry Chinese men started with an idea. They started a campaign to revenge. What they did is they overwhelmed JD's customer service hotline by canceling membership and returning products. And it said that some customer service reps had a mental breakdown by the sheer volume of calls. And I think these men probably were nice when they called the hotline. Now, these men intentionally ordered large number of JD's own branded items. So they didn't buy other brands. They intentionally buy JD's own branded items, one item per order. And after receiving them, they gave a bad review online. And then they called the customer service line to complain and demanded return the item one by one. Because what they did was they intentionally want to disrupt JD's operation line or chain of command, right, in its operation. They want to be disruptive to cause clutter and delays, because these guys said, I mean, they talk among themselves to say, we don't mind delays in getting our orders, but women do. So they intentionally did this to annoy the female customers of JD. And they also want to create extra deliveries so that the guys, the 220,000 guys you know, have extra jobs to do, right? Because these people would not be losing money because of this. They will actually make more money because they have more deliveries. Um, so it really, I mean, by the amount of effort that these men put in, it's really a gender war between the between the two sexes. Now, there are also men who looked for lawyers in the United States. They want to sue JD in the US because it's a company listed on NASDAQ. Um, because their claim is, they said, this is very funny. They said that, well, US is such a country that fights for equality between, between the two genders. So, when us men are being humiliated and discriminated, so we should seek justice in the United States, especially when JD is listed, on its NASDAQ. Anyways, so that's just some of the efforts these men put in. And then JD quickly deleted all the information related to this comedian. But the situation didn't die down. It got worse. Angry consumers began to escalate their boycott, turning their attention towards JD's B2B platform, because they do have a platform that serves enterprises and even government procurement. They have government procurement platforms. So they called people who work for companies, men who work for companies and make purchasing decisions, to boycott JD. And they also turned to JD Finance, which is a fintech platform offering a broad range of digital financial services, including consumer credit, wealth management. Consumer credit services, wealth management, online payments, and insurance. I mean, they also have a B2B function. But for the consumers, it's the consumer wealth management and also credit and loan. So men started to withdraw money from JD Finance. And do I have a picture? Oh yeah, here's the ad. Here's the ad of Miss Young. The ad that promoted the November 11th event for its pharmacy, online pharmacy. Okay, I'll talk about that later. So let me let me come back. So what happened is men started to withdraw money from JD Finance, and on October 18th, a screenshot showing that a withdrawal request for a JD Finance wealth management product could not be redeemed began circulating widely on various social media platforms. And the screenshot indicated that a large scale redemptions or a large amount of redemption has been triggered for a certain financial product on the platform, and people can redeem it for that day. They will have to try again. The platform asks its customers to try it again the next day. So this immediately got public attention, triggering more concerns about JD Finance. Now, the angry men were not shy about their intention. Some even came up with terms called hostile withdrawal, or even execution style money withdrawal or money transfer. And then a rumor that a financial run on JD Finance became trending, right? So on the 18th, JD felt the situation was really getting serious. The company issued a statement, and it says the funds users have in JD Finance are managed by licensed financial institutions, regulated and protected by law. All types of wealth management products are operating normally. And at the same time, JD promised with more discounts to its customers on November 11th. But men weren't satisfied or aren't satisfied. They said that unlike JD's previous apologies addressed to female customers, their statement to them wasn't sincere enough. So they ask people to continue to boycott the company by withdrawing money. Now, regarding large-scale redemptions not being available on the day of withdrawal, um, its customer service asks people to provide proof, such as screenshots. Um, if a large number of users choose to withdraw their investments in wealth management products, technically they will affect the banks and the financial institutions, right? The fund companies and the insurance companies that JD is affiliated with. If there's a bank run, the entities being affected are not JD Finance directly, but the various wealth management products and the financial institutions um, that JD Finance acts as an agent or traffic provider for. So JD Finance does not use its own assets for financing, um, nor does it act as an institution managing or selling assets. Rather, it's a licensed wealth management platform or traffic provider selling packaged financial products. So this brings another risk that is all the custodian banks that JD Finance is associated with will be liable in the event of a bank run, right? So people are now focusing on one bank, which is China Industrial Bank. It seems that the funds, people who have requested withdrawals, when they notice that the funds are coming from China Industrial Bank, which is based in Fuzhou, Fujian, and it's a provincial bank. The Fujian provincial government is the bank's largest shareholder. So the question is, people want to know how much liquidity the bank has to meet the financial run. I mean, does it, if there's a massive withdrawal, does the bank have the liquidity to meet that demand? The reason I worry about this is, the government has reacted to this because it wants to have, financial stability, and then the police got involved in, investigating. I mean, that's what they always do, and they say the the person who posted the screenshots saying that their request to withdraw the money was denied was actually not from JD Finance. It was from another platform, and they're saying they're bad actors or online trolls embellishing the story, and it's not true. Anyways, but the reason I worry about this, and the reason a lot of other people worry about this, is how JD has handled the crisis. I think JD Finance has made a big mistake. That is, JD sent a text message to all customers saying that there's no bank run at the company. The message, in my opinion, is more detrimental than the comedian controversy. By sending such a message denying a bank run to all customers, the company just broadcasted some kind of a crisis or controversy, right? The company alerted everyone to look into it, because not everyone was aware of the November 11th comedian issue or the JD, the e-commerce. I mean, e-commerce is the other arm of JD, so not everyone was aware of the e-commerce, the controversy involved in the commerce side of the business, and not everyone is aware of or was aware of the bank run. But now that they got this text message, they absolutely will look into it. I mean, Chinese are very sensitive with their money and this type of message. And so there was certainly everyone who got the message. And I think about it, if your money is with, if your money is with a financial institution, you get a message from your bank saying that, oh, everyone, we don't have a bank run. I mean, the first thing you do is you're going to look into it. You're going to say, well, what is going on? And you're not going to go through the official channels to get the information. You're going to try to find out through your friends and social network to see what's happening, right? And particularly in China, people have such reverse psychology. They don't trust the official information. So, and the more authoritative the source is, the less believable, the less credible it is. So after receiving this message, people who already know about it, I mean, may or may not be affected by this text message. But those who are not aware, everyone will be affected, right? And if only a small percentage of JD Finance's customers want to withdraw just to protect their assets, there will be a financial storm. Now, compare with Alibaba's Ant Group, JD Finance is smaller, but its microloan services rank number 1 in the comprehensive wealth management category last year. And its microloan products, such as Baitiao or White Slip, caters to both individuals and businesses. And this has helped it secure a leading position in the comprehensive wealth management space, with the microloans playing a crucial role in attracting and retaining users. So the Chinese government is doing what it can to quiet down the storm. Like I said, the police is involved in investigating the claims, and they have said that the user who posted that image was from a different platform, not JD. They made people believe that the bank run rumor was the result of online trolls. It was exaggerated. There's no bank run, blah, blah, blah. At this point, it doesn't matter what the authorities say. What matters is what people believe and how these angry men feel. Many of the economic crises and meltdowns started as rumor, right? They don't have to be true, but if people believe it, then it will affect people's behavior. As soon as people's confidence is gone, then there's very little you can do. So we don't know at this point if a run actually happened, but there are certainly angry men who are frustrated, who are pulling money out of JD's fintech platforms. So this story, I want to tell you this story because it lights several issues. The first one is it shows us how fragile China's economy is, right? Because any public dissonance can trigger a strong consumer reaction and a concerted or a unique behavior that you don't see anywhere else in the world. Because, I mean, I don't think, this would happen in other country. This is because the Chinese people have no ways to express public disagreement, and they've been programmed to turn emotions into a movement or a mass consumer actions, because they've been asked to boycott Japanese brands, the Korean brands in the past, or Western brands in the name of nationalism. So they're used to this kind of behavior because, if I don't like you, I can boycott you. So this, now, and they're exercising this consumer power against each other. And that, I think, will aggravate the already very stressed economy in China. And it makes the economy highly volatile and unpredictable. It's like any little thing could happen. Nobody would believe that a female comedian could trigger this kind of storm. This has been the most talked about event in China in the past several days. It's trending. And then the second thing it shows is the dangerous level of hostility and aggression in society among people and between the two genders. So ever since Chairman Mao liberated Chinese women by declaring that women can hold half of the sky, Chinese women are encouraged to be as tough as men. It may seem to have, elevated their social status, but in essence, I think women are subject to more abuses. And decades of single child policy has left many Chinese men and women unable to find a spouse because of not only gender disparity, but also wealth disparity. I discussed that in my video called Why Chinese Are Not Getting Married. And you can check that out. And Chris, can you paste the link of that video in the description? Thank you. So nowadays, men blame the women, or men blame women for being too materialistic and demanding, while women blame men being incompetent and not responsible. So in economic downturns, the tense relations between the two genders got worse. Recently, I was shocked to see so many social media videos online showing women engaged in cat fights with their husbands' mistresses in public in front of the husband. Also, there are videos showing men beat up their wife's lover in broad daylight. In each instance, there's a large crowd looking on. And this is a new trend. This is a new development in the past 6 months. I had not seen that before. Recently, there's just so many videos like that. I feel for Miss Yang Li, the comedian. I mean, she's both loved and hated by her people. And the reason she's able to succeed or become so successful is because of the terrible problems in Chinese society. And I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like women overreacted, or I don't want to sound like women are being too cynical, and men are entitled to fight back. One of Miss Young's fans wrote a passage to say why she supports Miss Young. And I think her writing offers very good insight into today's China. I know these problems are everywhere. It exists in every society, but the scale and the extent of the problems are unimaginable. So this is what she wrote. She said, "I'm a woman, and I like many of Miss Yang Li's works. My life is filled with a huge number of ordinary but arrogant men, some of whom are even on the verge of breaking the law, to a degree that would leave both men and women here astonished. For example, there's my 60-year-old neighbor who would touch me inappropriately, and my family would always say he was just joking. Even when this lunatic said he wanted to marry me when I was 17, my parents still said, he's just joking. Then there's my cousin who was in college when I was in high school. My family always encouraged me to discuss study experiences with him, but all his advices were about how he was certain that I wouldn't get into universities." And a more recent example was just last month when I was hiking and encountered a shirtless man with a beer belly, who insisted on chatting with me. He commented that I lacked exercises and took my bag and started going through it. At that moment, I was alone and felt helpless. So that is maybe to people who don't live in China, maybe this sounds, this kind of, weird people happen everywhere. But for those who have lived in China, we know the people that this young lady described are very common. So with that, I wrap up my talk today. I want to talk about something. Let me get rid of this. Oh, this is the post. This is the text message from JD saying that we don't have a bank run. That's the image. All right. So before I take any questions, I talked to a friend who has been supporting me since day one of doing YouTube channel, and her husband is a longtime viewer of me. And so he asked her, he asked Jen, and he said, why why doesn't Lei ever ask for donation? Uh, is she very wealthy or she doesn't need money? So Jen said, no, 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 she's not wealthy. So my friend Jen told that to me, say, my husband has that feedback. He thinks you're very wealthy and don't need money. So I said, well, it's because number one, I always forget to mention that. Number two, I got very tired at the end of the program. Sometimes I just go through the questions and wrap up the program. So I don't know where people get this impression that I'm very wealthy. uh, I don't. I'm not. I'm not wealthy by any means. And my YouTube business is not enough to support me financially. I have to do a side business in order to make a living. So and I don't feel comfortable talking about money. I admit that. And And I think the reason why people think I'm wealthy is because number one, I do not worry about money. And number two, I think I live very modestly, especially now because all my time is spent at home preparing for these YouTube live streams. I even don't have time to spend money. So I spend very little and I don't worry about money. So then when you don't worry about money, you somehow appear affluent. So yeah, so I'm telling you that if you can support me, I'd really appreciate it because the YouTube advertisement revenue is not meaningful at all at this point. So I do rely on donations to make a living. Even that is not enough to make a living, and I have to earn, I have to, earn, make a living on my own. So I'd appreciate that. Okay, so that's all. Let me see if people have any questions. I hope this is fun. I mean, it is different. However, if you really think about the issues behind this drama or storm, they're not funny at all. They're really, they're really, they're really the problems, right? Okay. Wow, I got money. See how Lei lights up when she sees money. All right. Beatty McGee. Oh, thank you, Beatty. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, I got from Charles Womack. I was looking through some old stuff and I found a 9 dash line, and it turns out that Zhongnanhai is part of my property. I like your humor. Uh, yeah, probably so. In another YouTube channel, women in America are the most privileged, profiled. Is that a word? Profiled, privileged in the history of the world. Prove me wrong. Women in America, that includes me because I'm living in America. Are you saying that I'm the most privileged? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I am one of those people who do not worry about money. I don't know why. Whether I have money or not, don't have money. It is. I worry about a lot of things, um, but not money. Brandon G. Oh, thank you, Brandon. All right. Mark Irwin. Well, thank you for the generosity. Well, now, Lei, you guys see Lei counting money. All right, let me see if people have any questions for me. Are you American? Yes, I'm American. So that makes me one of the most privileged women in history. I don't think so. I don't feel that way. I work hard. I work very hard to make a living. All right, let's see. Um, oh yeah, okay. This is my birthday week. So that gives you another reason to give me a tip. How's that? Okay, Lay's all out asking for money now. Why not? I do that once in a year. All right, Nick Fury. Fury. Furry. Do you know that rich Chinese are now targets for kidnap for ransom in Southeast Asia? Yes. There are Chinese kidnapping Chinese for ransom. Yep. Yep. Oh, happy birthday. Well, thank you. Thank you. Uh, will you be 25 on my birthday? Yeah, I am close. Getting there. All right. Have you traveled to China recently? No, I have not been to China for decades. Prosper. Um, yeah, no, I have not been in China for a long time. All right. Somebody found Jeb Smith. I just found your channel. I want to thank you for your insight. I'll be back. I have two Chinese born daughters, so I have been to China twice, once in 1996 and in 2006. I saw large changes. Yeah. And China now suspended the adoption programs. So foreign nationals are not able to adopt Chinese babies unless I think they're affiliated. So thank you. And another YouTube channel. Yes. All right. Let's see. Oh, it's all happy birthday. Well, thank you. Thank you. No name. Um, all right. No questions for me. Just birthday wishes. Great. All right. Oh, here's one. Foreign, even if they had adopted, they didn't get their babies. Everyone remember to click like. All right. That's all for now. Um, Samsung. I think you're one of the few people I learned from this day. Thank you so much for your time. Your friend from Australia. Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you. Semi Demi, I don't know how to pronounce Semi Demi something. Thank you. Well, thank you for the money. All right, Netflix foreign. Do you know one of the big things that happened during the Great Depression? Many wealthy Americans were kidnapped for ransom. This is a sign for wealthy Chinese. I didn't know that happened during the Great Depression, but I know wealthy Chinese are being kidnapped in Southeast Asia. Um, and some of them have died. And it's, yeah, there are recently two young men who met a woman at a medical conferences at a medical conference in Europe, and they went to, was it Thailand or Indonesia or Singapore? I forgot the country, but they disappeared. All right. I mean, it's a sign how bad China is getting economically. Agree. Okay. Let's see. That seems to be all. So I'll wrap it up here. It's a relatively shorter program, but I thank you for all the birthday wishes. I thank you, and I'll see you on Thursday. Okay. Oh, that's old news. It's in the Philippines. Happens a lot in the Philippines. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.